Yo, what's up? It's your boy Carcino in the house. Hope everybody's having a very blessed day. Yesterday was a very interesting day for me, to say the least. But we still here giving it to you raw, as we always do. Now, let's get into this. A lot of people might want to know, what's it really all about? It's a good question. What is Hollywood really about? Hollywood is about luck. A lot of it is pure blind luck. Now, during a recent, they had James Cameron do an interview, and the interview was so revealing and so telling. There was no surprise as to why certain things were the way they were. So it was up to no surprise to anyone to see a certain state of things go in the direction they were going. Now, when I look at situations, I always say Hollywood tells the story, but these stories change so much. Could you imagine O.J. Simpson as the Terminator chasing around Arnold Schwarzenegger? That's right. O.J. Simpson was going to be a stone cold killer. They had this documentary with Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay, and they was talking about it. They happened to go over the Terminator, and O.J. Simpson was going to be the Terminator. All right, sounds wacky as hell, doesn't it? But guess what? That was reality. See, O.J. Simpson was popular. Everybody loved the juice in the 80s. So when people saw him, he was ideal for commercials. He was that guy. He was the guy doing all the Hertz commercials. And they saw him as America's sweetheart. They saw him doing a commercial with Arnold Palmer. He golfed all the time. He was the face of marketing. He's running from the airport to get his rental car. I don't need a rental car. I'm OJ. But I want to get somewhere fast. I go to Hertz. That was OJ. He started with Hertz in like the 70s and he rode that all the way into the 80s, taking Hertz to a whole new place and standards. And it was competing with all the rental car giants. He appeared on television shows. He had a golden smile. So in 1983, James Cameron said, I wanted O.J. Simpson to star in this movie called The Terminator. And the only character they were looking for was Kyle Reese. Kyle Reese is the only guy they're looking at to replace. Y'all didn't know this, but Kyle Reese was the star of the film. And James Cameron had OJ chasing Arnold Schwarzenegger around as he was going to be Kyle Reese running from the Terminator. Now, I'm like, what's menacing about OJ Simpson chasing down Arnold Schwarzenegger? It's like, why would Schwarzenegger be running from Kyle, like OJ Simpson from the Juice? He about bigger than the Juice. So to me, it was bizarre. But here's the thing: Arnold was breaking down the movie and was like telling him he loved the script, but it was like a B movie, and Arnold didn't want to do another B movie. He felt, man, I had success, and then here he comes. Now we're going down again. Conan was a hit, and I started doing B movies again, and I thought that was going to open up bigger doors, but now here we are again. I'm doing this. But the script and the writing was good. The story was good. So he was so vested. And he was Kyle Reese. And he's like, well, I was thinking we go in a different direction. Because the Terminator everything about him has to be a machine. And he has to be not recognizable as human by his behavior. And he came up with the way the Terminator moved, the way he reacted, everything. So James Cameron comes up with the idea like, I think you should be the Terminator. You should be the Terminator. Like that makes sense. It just finally dawned on him like, wait a minute. That face, you could be the Terminator. You could pull this off. You know what it details. You should be the Terminator. He was like, I don't think so. A bad guy. I don't want to be. I want to be the hero. The hero was at that time. The hero sold the movie. See, the story was supposed to be about Kyle Reese, and Kyle Reese dies to protect, Sarah Connor. So Kyle Reese was supposed to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was the hero, the sacrifice, to save, and the hero was the star of the movie, and Schwarzenegger was going to be the star. So OJ Simpson being the Terminator, they was just like, yeah, you're kind of right. I don't see OJ Simpson playing this the way Arnold would have played it. I mean, it's common sense to us looking at it, but you see, it was bigger than that. You see, OJ, because they were like, well, the roles could be reversed. Now, OJ could be Kyle Reese, but they was, no, we can't put on screen a black male lead dating a white woman. We already have her casted. We can't replace Sarah Connor. So she's already signed and ready to go. I can't have a black man in an interracial relationship having a interracial baby that's gonna save the universe. I mean, save the whole planet. So that's not gonna happen. So OJ just had to get axed. They had to go find another Kyle Reese. So that was the story of OJ being in the Terminator. Now, OJ's agent said, you guys used me to lure in a bodybuilder. You see, in those times, the leading men were not muscular. Everybody said, well, Arnold Schwarzenegger got big muscles and all that. That's what they want. Big muscles meant dumb for some reason to people. Like if you had muscles, you would consider the dumb guy. You couldn't act if you had big muscles. Spent too much time in the gym instead of acting and working on your craft. So you were considered to be dumb. So you had to fight that narrative. Then you had to go ahead and fight the perception that they put on everybody else. So once they start slapping these perceptions on you, then you can't escape it. You go into a different realm to where all these other people. Mm, well, that was before that. Like Sly and Rocky, he wasn't a cut up guy. It wasn't until like Rocky 2 you start seeing him get all the muscles and all that. But to try to make them a blockbuster movie star, the muscular guy was out. Like they wanted the slender guys. They were the leading men in Hollywood. Well, it's a different perspective when you look at everything that went down and the way it went down. You start saying, "Well, damn, this ain't the way it should have been going." This is all messed up. But the muscular guy became the thing after Arnold and Stallone. They wanted to go find a muscular guy to, that was muscles was in. So this opened the door for people like Jean Claude Van Damme come in and play his part. They wanted a new Schwarzenegger, and this Schwarzenegger no karate. So the narratives were, we gotta find a Kyle Reese. So they end up finding an actor to play Kyle Reese, and the Terminator became the star. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator. So, because they were like, man, we gotta find a star, and it was like, well, Schwarzenegger is your star. That was it. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a chemistry thing that he likes to do. If he likes you as a director, he will come back and grab you and present you with work and say, I want you to be involved. That's how Arnold worked. Arnold was very particular about everything that he did. But OJ people was like, y'all owe you some money because y'all used OJ name to sell this project, to get all these other actors in to get financing for the movie. That we're gonna have O.J. Simpson and Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie. He's like, who is Arnold Schwarzenegger? This is O.J. Simpson. So they had to pay some money to OJ for wasting his time, just using his name. So some of the scenes in the movie, they had no budget to go and film in the. It was supposed to be in like a warehouse. They had to scrap the whole scene and reshoot certain scenes because they had no money in the budget. They paid OJ, so that was done. So that once they kicked OJ some money, so that they didn't get sued. This is a small project. When the film ended the way that it did, and it had some scenes in it, it was like, man, like with little budget money, that was great. Well, the lightning was supposed to indicate that the Terminator was coming back at the end of Terminator. They left the door open for sequels. So when the storm, the cloud was, and she was driving in the Jeep, that was supposed to be the telling that another Terminator was coming. They just didn't know that it was going to take as long as it did to do a sequel. Arnold went from the Terminator to other movies. Like immediately, right after that, he had like three, four movies back to back to back. So it was like work, 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 right after Terminator. But OJ ran into Arnold Schwarzenegger and he told him, "Hey, you stole my movie." Oh, I'm not mad at you. Man. I saw the movie, man. You did a great job. You did a great job. I don't think I could have done a better job than that. You were phenomenal. Well, now they can see Juice as being a stone cold killer, but but back then, no, they couldn't see Juice as that. So the dynamics changed very much. So uh, I'm interested in seeing who's going to lead the way when it comes to the next wave of talent, the next wave of entertainment. Who's going to lead the next wave? That's what we waiting to see now. Everybody else has been like in the way. Let's see what happens next. I'm interested in seeing that. Well, see, Juice got his money. At that time, he was like, man, I got paid for a movie I'm not even in. So Juice, why would Juice care? Juice got his money. But it just goes to show you Hollywood sometimes is just pure luck. It could be a great script, but if you have the wrong person in the character role, it could kill the movie. We saw great movies lose their way because they had the wrong cast. Like the absolute wrong cast members. It could destroy a film. So you always want to make sure you're doing the right things for the right things, for the right reasons, on top of everything. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, man. I don't want to hold you guys all day. I just wanted to drop that on you. Don't forget to subscribe to the page. Carcino for Life is the page. Like, share, subscribe. My Patreon's Carcino for Life. My Cash App is Carcino, as you see it in the banner. Love, peace, and hair grease. I'm out.